Hi everybody, my name is Emily Metcalf. I'm one of the health science librarians at Grand Valley State University, and today I'm going to show you very quickly how to do a basic search in a database called CINAHL. Now, first thing we need to do is get to the library. You can go to the library's website and bookmark it if you choose, or from the Grand Valley homepage, you can click the icon of a little building that's right next to the search box for people and pages. From here, you have a few options. You can go to a subject guide if that's where you like to start searching. Since today I know what database I want to search in, I'm just going to click the Databases button. From here, I will scroll on down, and the database I want is CINAHL, so I'm going to click the letter C and scroll down until I see the CINAHL Complete database. CINAHL stands for the Cumulative Index on Nursing and Allied Health Literature, and that's why it's a great choice for lots of people in health science fields. From here, we can just start typing our search terms, which in our case is medical tourism. But before we hit search, let's scroll down and see some of our options. CINAHL provides you with filters before you even see your results, and this is useful when an assignment calls for peer-reviewed articles, for example. That's the only filter I'm going to choose right now, so I'm going to scroll back up and hit search. Our search for medical tourism brought up 4,346 results. That's an awful lot, so we're going to filter that down a little bit. One easy way to do this is by limiting the time frame you're looking at. Right now you can see that the database is looking for articles from any time period, but because this is a field that's moving quickly, let's change that. I'll click the drop-down arrow, and I'm going to say just give us articles from the last 5 years. So now we're down to over 1,000 results. Now's the point where I usually scroll through and I like to see what kinds of articles the database is returning. Before I even scroll, I can see that this first article doesn't use the phrase medical tourism, it uses the phrase health tourist. So I'm going to come back to my search box at the top and add in the phrase health tourism and hit enter. Because we used the word or to combine our search terms, I've told the database I'm okay with all of the articles that include either phrase. So that means I've given the database more options when it returns articles to me. Because of that, we can see our results have gone up by about 2,000. Now let's scroll and see what we learn. I see in items number 3 and number 4 that Iran is listed, so maybe that's a way that I can focus my topic. Maybe I just want to focus on medical tourism in Iran. To do that, we'll come back to our search box, and I'm going to say that I'm okay with medical tourism or health tourism, but every article returned to me also has to have the phrase Iran. Now, because I'm complicating things by adding in more than 2 search terms or key phrases, I'm going to put parentheses around each concept. We do this the way we do in algebra. This tells the database, do what's in the parentheses first, and that way I stay organized and the database doesn't get confused. Now I'll hit enter, and now we're down to 222 results, and I can see that the first few articles at least do mention health tourism or medical tourism in Iran, which is exactly what I wanted. There are a few other ways to edit our search to make it a little more efficient. One way is to do what's called truncation, which is when you chop off the end of a word and you replace it with an asterisk. By doing this with the words tourism, I am telling the database I'm okay with the word tourism, but I'm also okay with the word tourist or tourists. Another way to limit our results is to put quotation marks around any phrases. A single word by itself, like Iran, doesn't need this, but when we put these quotation marks around a phrase, we're telling the database, don't do any interpretive work yourself. I don't want you to send me articles that have things to do with tourism in Iran. I only want things specifically about medical tourism or health tourism. Those quotation marks around a phrase make sure all of those characters, all those letters and spaces stay together, and that's what we want in this case. So I'll hit enter again to update the search with those new updates. And that brings us to 49 results. This is a great time to scroll through your results and see what looks useful to you. As I'm scrolling, these all look useful. They have my keywords, and I'm ready to learn more. So I'm going to click on this article. Just click on the title, and that will bring you to the articles page. This has information like the title, the authors, and their affiliations, like where they work. But most importantly, if I keep scrolling, this page has an abstract. An abstract is just a summary of the research, and this is the place where I think you should really spend some time. Sometimes articles' titles can be a little misleading, and so this is where we're going to spend our time to make sure that the article is relevant to the research we're doing. You don't need to read a full article to tell if it's going to be relevant or not. Just spend that time here on the abstract, and once you've decided it is relevant, you can access the full text, or you might decide that this isn't interesting to you, and you can go back and look at more of your results. If I've decided that I do want to access the full text of this article, I will scroll back up, and you have a few options here. You can click Access Options, and you can look at the PDF, or you can read the text online, or you have the option to download a PDF. I'm just going to look at the PDF for now. I don't want to download it this time. And here it is. This article is fully accessible, and you can scroll down. Here's the abstract again. And if we scroll, you can get into the full text, starting with background, getting into methods and study design, all the way down to the end where they will have a conclusion, and then they'll list their references. If you're at the point of just saving articles and you want to go back to read them, I recommend you get two pieces of information. The first is this article's citation. So up here at the top, there's a toolbar. The second button from the left looks like little upside down quotation marks, and it says Cite. When we click on that, it gives us a bunch of different style standards. We probably want APA in this class. So go ahead and choose that style. And here is the citation for this article. You can copy this and save it wherever you're keeping organized, especially if you're working with a group. This is an important thing to grab so everyone can see what articles you've gathered. Once you've done that, you can click out of that box, and then we're going to look for a permalink or a permanent link. For this article, we're going to come to this little arrow. 2 buttons down from Cite is the Share button, and when we click on that, it gives us the option to create a link. When we click that, we copy it to our clipboard. We can put this wherever we're staying organized, and then anytime we click this link, it will bring us right back to this article. I can copy and paste it into a new tab right now, and you can see it brought us right back where we want to be. So that is how you access CINAHL. That is how you filter for peer-reviewed articles and how you filter for date. That is also how you use and or, parentheses, quotation marks, and asterisks in a search. And we talked about how to find the full text of an article and save its citation and permalink. If you have any questions about searching, you can always reach out to me or to the library at gvsu.edu/library. Happy researching!